what core topics do you think are non-negotiable for mastering the verbal ability?
Apart from these important question types that I'm saying, the other question types that have come.
What kind of reading habits do you recommend for people who are starting afresh and how they can be comfortable with English?
Trust me when I say this, that this problem might be there in people who are English medium students also.
Any question selection strategy which you can suggest students in the CAT exam? Hello everyone. Today we have Meenakshi ma'am with us, who is the most sought after faculty for verbal over the last 25 years. She has been mentoring, training, teaching students, guiding them, making them excel in the VARC section. And she will here with us today to answer the queries, problems faced by students in the verbal section. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Arun, and a very good day to you. And one thing before you start asking your questions is that these 25 years have been a real life experience for me, and I have evolved as a person, as a teacher, as an individual. When I have touched the lives of so many students. So it's been a pleasure throughout my life. Thank you.
That is the basic blessing which we all seek for, because when we make difference in the life of students, that gives us so much satisfaction which I think no other profession would give. So,
Definitely.
so the first question, ma'am, which we get from students is, or which I would want to know from you is, how has teaching verbal ability for CAT evolved over the last few years?
That's a very relevant question, and many of us still use the methodology that was there last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years ago. And since I've seen it's been like with me for half my life, and therefore I would say that, and don't try to guess my age because when I say that, so yes, but yes, half my life definitely. And what I used to see when I started off in the late 90s was that the exam was, especially the verbal section, was more based on speed. And there was a lot of vocabulary, grammar, etc. Questions like fill in the blanks and the sentence correction and word level synonyms, antonyms. Now these are coming in the non-CATs. But the CAT then started moving a little away from this. So we saw this change happening in the time of, say, 2005, 6, 7. Slowly, parajumbles, etc., started gaining more importance. Closed tests, which were the paragraph level fill in the blanks, critical reasoning started creeping into the CAT exam. And then we saw this other change that happened was around 2012, 2009, 10, 11, 12 onwards when CAT went online. So then the paper was just, it was very short, and we just had 60 questions in total. If you remember those times, I believe you were also there. And in that time, then it became very easy. The CAT became very easy and rather not a challenge. But again, there was a change which we saw in 2014-15. And that change has remained more or less constant. Just of course, the timing of the section, the number of years, etc., has changed, but it has remained constant. So the change that happened between 16 to 24, so to say, was that earlier it was 34 questions, 1 hour section. The CAT became a 3-hour paper like the GMAT, and therefore, of course, more emphasis on comprehension, etc. Then what happened last 4-5 years, what we have seen post-COVID is that it has become a 40-minute section for each of the sections, and verbal ability has gone down to 24 questions. The focus is totally on comprehension. There's 16 questions that come from the comprehension topic, and therefore reading comprehension, etc., becomes extremely important for the student and should not be kept as an option. It has to be done. It's compulsory, so to say. Together with it, the questions on verbal ability have also evolved, taken a more mature look, as we saw, and approach rather. And parajumbles, odd man out, which is again a paragraph-based question type. We saw summary-based questions, new question types. Looks like a paragraph completion question. It's a combo between a fill in the blank and a paragraph completion question. And of course, We have got these, RC based, the comprehension which is there, which has got a touch of critical reasoning also. So this is the evolution of the exam, and of course, our teaching also has evolved over the years together with it.
Right.
So that's
So basically, the main message I think for the students is that RC cannot be ignored because RC has 60-70% weightage. So that has to be
correct.
taken care of. So, ma'am, I think you have well answered the second question which I wanted to ask is what core topics do you think are non-negotiable for mastering the verbal ability as a
But I would like to, correct. So this question is very relevant for today's world, in fact, for the exam, because as I told you earlier, that the CAT has changed. And now we've got these 24 questions, out of which 16 questions are for comprehension. So comprehension becomes non-negotiable. Then we come to verbal ability. Parajumbles, although last year we did not see parajumbles, but last 25 years that I have seen the CAT, parajumbles has not come, maybe 3 years or 4 years out of 25 years. So parajumbles again is something which is going to come back in some form or the other. The parajumble has to be done. Then there is the odd man out, also called as the irrelevant statement, which is like a brother or a cousin to the parajumble question type. So you have to solve the jumble and then remove the extra statement that is there. So that is there. The summary question, which is there, which is a part of critical reasoning and now comes as an independent question type. Again, summary had a strange journey, and it started in the late 90s, continued till 2003. Then summary stopped coming. Summary suddenly made a comeback in 2016 onwards, and from there till 2024, it has come again. So why I wanted to give this example is that sometimes people do a lot of selective study. But I would say that apart from these important question types that I'm saying, the other question types that have come in the verbal section, please do not ignore them. Do a little bit of understanding and solving of those also, so that one, that they are coming in the non-CAT exams. So it's your effort is not going to go waste. Second, just in case, like this summary example, any other question type wants to come back, rather is put back, then in that case, at least we are comfortable that we have touched all the topics that have come in the CAT last so many years. And that's what the training is all about. In fact, in Mindworks, as you know, we do that all the time. So that is there. And the last question type was the missing statement question, which is like a paragraph. One question, one statement has been deleted. It's put on the top. So we don't need to search for it. We just have to put it at the right place. So these are there. And the theta question, I must mention that the theta question type is basically a negative, which is there in all questions. The theta means type in the answer. That means the negative marking is not there. So parajumbles and odd man. These two are theta questions. There are no negative markings. Right.
So many students who are from vernacular background, they find it difficult to start reading because they feel that they're not able to understand the topics or the kind of passages which come in CAT. So what kind of reading habits do you recommend for people who are starting afresh and how they can be comfortable with English?
Okay. So again, this problem has been there over the years, and it's not a new problem. And all of those who are struggling with this, whether you have been reading my book for the CAT exam or you have been part of associated with the CAT exam in any way as a student, this message is for you that you are not alone. There are a lot of people who have this problem in reading. And trust me when I say this, that this problem might be there in people who are English medium students also. Because what we were taught in school was totally different from what CAT expects. In the English medium students have just learned those subjects in English. But in the CAT expects that they can give a topic from philosophy, from psychology, from economics, from literature, from history. Also, you have to decode it and find the answer. So even if you feel that, okay, I have missed out those English literature lessons in school, doesn't matter. You can just download the free NCERT books of class 5 to 9. You can start doing from there so that your vocabulary part, and the basic understanding reading part, which you have missed. Now, when you're 20 plus years of age, reading something that was meant for a 14, 15, 16-year-old will become easy for you. Just like if you give the, ninth or 10th exam now, you will definitely score more
Right.
because your level of maturity and understanding is more. So you can start with those things, so that that negative hesitation that is there in your mind, that, oh, I don't know, no, now I know, I have read those books, I know what is there, in fact I may know it better now.
Right.
And then you start with easy readings. You start with the basic newspapers, like the, say, the Times of India, Hindustan Times, whatever. You just subscribe, and nowadays it's online also, so you don't need to get it home, but you can get it home. And just start with the editorial. Then there is a Reader's Digest magazine, free downloadable, or you can read it free online. There are easy stories. You can start with short stories, small articles, and from the cat level papers like The Guardian and New York Times, etc., you can start reading things that are of your interest. Like, I know you like sports.
Right.
And so for a person, of course, you don't have a problem in reading. I know you are a voracious reader. But if you had a problem, I would recommend that, okay, Arun, start from the sports section of the Guardian newspaper, so that you already know stuff about it. So decoding language will not be difficult, and you'll start becoming comfortable with that level of language of the writing.
Right.
So, and slowly, once, twice a week, read the difficult things and compensate with the easier things that you like, so that your reading is started. The
Right.
first 20 days are the most difficult. Once as it says, even in psychology, 21 days is needed to change a habit. So on the 21st day, if you have been reading regularly, be it anything in English, and keep, upgrading your level
Right.
every 2 days. And start with small readings, 2 paragraphs, 10 lines, 20 lines, anything that does not bore you. And once you start getting bored, just stop. So 5 minutes of reading 4 times a day is what I give you. And I can promise you, after the 21st day, you will want to do it the next day. So please do try it. Yeah.
Very true, ma'am. In fact, I remember in my preparation days, I was suggesting by you only that start reading what you like till you like what you read. So that is
Exactly. That's the best way to sum it up. Correct.
the essence of this message, that you start reading what you like till you like what you are reading. So that comfort level
Exactly.
comes up, then obviously we can follow on that.
Yeah.
So the
Right.
next question, ma'am, which normally students have is any specific question selection strategy which you can suggest students in the CAT exam? How can they select
Okay.
questions? Yeah.
So, like when you're giving the mocks now, the mocks are already starting now and have started actually. So, we have already started our mocks. And in that, what you should do, see, the mock is not a test of your knowledge. The mock exam or the CAT exam is the test of what you know best, not the test of whether you know everything or not.
Very true.
Unlike a school or a college level degree exam.
Right.
So in this case, what you have to do is you have to select the questions you are comfortable. Now, if you are clearing the cutoffs of, say, 25 marks, you are already on the safe side. So for 25, 30 marks, as we know, it's a +3 -1. You need 10 correct questions.
Right.
So you get a 30. Now, 10 questions out of 24 is not a difficult selection if you have done your basic preparation. So if you've done your comprehension, you've done your parajumbles, you've done your summary, these types, you can pick up, okay, I like this. And then what you can do is, so pick up first those. So when you read an RC, you are like, okay, I'm comfortable. So you have to give those 20 seconds. You have to see the first 4, 5 lines and just do a skimming, fast movement of your eyes, wherein you see, okay, am I comfortable with this topic or not? If you feel that it's a strain or a burden to continue this, then just skip it. There is no problem at all. There is no sin in, leaving a question. Koi paap nahi hai, as we say. So there is no sin. And so move on to the other. So there'll be 3 reactions. I don't know, I know, and I can try. Now, I know, of course, you will solve those. I don't know, you will immediately leave. I can try is the most dangerous, because then you keep trying and you waste a lot of time.
Right.
So please don't do the I can try. The I can try, you can leave at the end, when you are done with the I know questions, you still have time left. Then you can pick up 2, 3 of the I can try. If you get it right, that's fine. So that's how you select your questions. All right.
Right. So one last question, ma'am. I think we are running out of time now. So some students feel that even after regular reading and vocabulary revision, they are not able to build that comfort zone in VARC. So what could be they doing wrong, and how can they improve on that?
Yes, this is again a question which is very common among the students, that I have been doing reading religiously, and I personally know that they do it also. They report to me, they do it. But what happens is that maybe you are doing the reading, but you have not decoded the passage as the author wants you to decode. So then you can start off from a lower level of solving. Maybe you have started with the cat questions and you started getting it wrong. Maybe you started with LOD2 or some question that was just posed on some Facebook group, some social media. Uh, I mean, I'm not talking against anybody, but all these groups, they try to challenge the students and try to make them feel that they don't know anything and that their preparation is useless. It's a way to attract them to
Right.
their institution or whatever. So please don't get demotivated by that. You start with what is your level and you have to learn it step by step. So just like in quants, if you don't know 2 plus 2, how can you do 2002 or 2,000,002? Right? Even you and I will have to think the number of zeros.
Right.
So of course, there will be an issue with that. And so in that case, start with what is your level and then start understanding, analyzing the question, analyzing the errors. So a lot of these questions that we have or what we teach, they have got those solutions which are there. You see in the solutions where you are going wrong. What is the thing that you missed? Work on that, come back to it again and try to implement that. So it could be a vocabulary issue that you did not understand the word which was part of the passage. It could be that you were not comfortable with the reading, so you did not understand. So there was a blank in your mind when you answered. It could also be that you got confused between options. That's the most important thing that happens. Now, you will always have to remember, if you're getting confused between two options, that means you did not understand the question.
Right.
There is something lacking in your understanding of the question, because if the author or the person who has created the test has created 4 options, there is a difference between the options. Till what extent is the question asking you to answer? That is what you have to realize. And then you have to have a mental answer for that, match it with the given options. Anything which has any extra, anything less, etc. Those are the errors. Work on those. And I, again, can absolutely say to you with confidence that there will be improvement.
Right, right. I think that's a very fine strategy, and most of the students who have this problem will be able to implement it and do better in the mock test and eventually in the CAT exam. So, thank you, ma'am. Thanks for giving your time and guiding the
Thank
students.
you, Arun. You picked out the most pertinent questions, and I must thank you for that, because we do a lot of these things, these videos and record, sessions. But picking the right questions and what are relevant for our students is the most important.
Right.
We'll have more of these series. I would love to talk to you
Yeah,
again.
I would. It was a
Thank you
great
so
pleasure.
much.
In fact, I also learned a lot many things from this session, and I will help the students communicate the same.
Definitely,
We'll do more of it.
definitely.
And best wishes, ma'am. Have a good day. Thank you.
And all the best to all the students who are watching and listening to this podcast. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks.